This is unbelievable. Breaking news for those tuning in. A monumental historical moment of truth begins. Our president is officially moving the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Words can't describe the emotions brewing within, but it sort of feels like Moses parting the Red Sea for us Jews again. What's happening is surreal. But now the UN, European Union, and the Pope criticize Trump for standing with Israel. You see, in the Old Testament it states, the nations of the world would descend against the Jews in Jerusalem in the end of days. It states it would bring a war of cataclysmic magnitude, the likes of which have not been seen before. Now this messianic era is upon us right now, I promise. If you open your eyes and focus on all the signs, you can see we're living in the times prophesied by the prophets. It was written, the young will not respect the old, and the governments will become godless. A generation of shamelessness and misinformation. I know. It's a lot to process. I mean, just look at the boiling hot climate of our current state in politics. It's crystal clear we're living in a zombie apocalypse. You can tell the end is near. Caitlyn Jenner's labeled brave for changing his gender, and Colin Kaepernick is fucking Citizen of the Year. So I'ma just sit here, spit sincere wisdom into your ears like the band playing the violin while the ship sinks and disappears into a vast sea of liberal tears. We living in the weirdest generation of participation trophies and safe spaces. Politicians touching little kids in strange places. Kids raised to be gender neutral and the parents confused why the neighbors make faces. Michael Flynn's in trouble with the law, but Hillary Clinton walks. And the same celebrities who ridicule Trump's locker room talk get caught up in scandals left and right for sexual assault. We got FBI corruption, imminent civil war, and threats from North Korea while Chelsea handlers on Twitter blaming Trump for the fucking fires burning up California. We got Elizabeth Warren who lied claiming her heritage to be Native American. The president calls her Pocahontas. She gets angry and offended, calls it a racial slur. Then she buys Pocahontas.com's domain and redirects it straight to a fundraising page. Wait a second. What's that say about her? Can she be any more pathetic? And she's part of the Senate? How fucking embarrassing. Not to mention Nancy Pelosi, the one who said Trump would never become president, states his tax reform is the end of the world and even calls it Armageddon. Says she'll fight it with everything she has. Good luck on that, you fucking peasant. You see, Trump puts the media down and they get all upset. But it's because no matter what he says or does, he just can't do right when it comes to the left. I mean, we've become a hateful nation with the media deep state leading the way and creating an environment like a safe place to breed the hate. It's just ugly. Celebrities openly saying they want to see the president assassinated publicly. And the Fuck Donald Trump song being played at the VMAs, it must be, due to the fact the media treats him like racism's in his DNA. Funny, because even though we condemn David Duke, the KKK, and other hate groups and stated racism has no place in this country, the fake news won't change their tune and still portray him as a racist who just caters to Nazis. Imagine my shock. Remember Kathy Griffin's nasty depiction of holding Trump's bloody head and the backlash she got? She said it was meant to be comedy, but instead, ironically, she became the laughing stock. Can you imagine what would have happened if she did that to Barack? Fuck being blacklisted, Kathy Griffin would be shackled in prison instead of acting the victim because she can't land a job. You see, the brake's on, the Trump train's been taking off. So get out the way, cause Trump came to drain the swamp full of snakes and frogs. A bunch of corrupt fake frauds who fucking brainwash us, making us all rotten brain zombies blind as Ray Charles. It doesn't take a Harvard graduate to see the media's main intention to create racial tension is based on a false narrative. If you pay attention, you can see I'm making sense when you see the media focus on Trump's Russia, nothing burger. You wonder what's the purpose, but it's just another curtain drawn to keep the public nervous, to divert us from the truth of what's under the surface. But the person you really should be concerned with is someone Trump refers to as a crooked politician with the husband who's perverted. I'll let you figure out which one I'm referring to. The media talks about institutional racism with black people being the main target. I'm not saying racism doesn't exist, but to be blatantly honest, the Jim Crow law has been dead and the country voted in a black president for 8 years in office. The same country got sick of the same nonsense and same politics and said, fuck black and white, we'll take orange. And that's when the media force feeds you straight garbage, turning Eminem into an SJW, telling his fans, fuck you, while igniting his white savior complex. What the media should be focusing on are the black slaves being traded in auction right now in opium Libyan slave markets. Because black people in this country are free, strong, and a powerful, true example of success, while the media makes them out to be systematically oppressed. Microaggressions, white privilege, the president is a racist bigot, white supremacist who hates your pigment, and they'll do anything to make you think it's true. But is it? You know what? I think the real evil racists are white people who think all white people are racist. They're the same people who talk as if all black people are poor, and then feel the need to speak for them and be their voice since their rich white privilege status grants them that ultimate platform. Now that's insulting to black folks. Newsflash, M, not all black people are fucking Democrats, bro. Your own home state, Michigan, voted for Trump. Facts, bro. And Trump has black supporters too, asshole. Trump has gays, Latinos, and yes, even Mexican supporters too. But the media won't show you that, though. What a fucking Nazi to stand up for Israel like that, though. Damn, bro. Yo, remember that white lash comment made by Van Jones? That was a Democratic media tactic meant to create racial tension just to gain black votes. But my skin color's white, so what do I know? They got us fighting a war we never signed up for, and instead of united we stand, their plan is divided we fall. There's still time for us all to right this wrong and unite for a righteous cause and fight the cabal's subliminal mind control design psychological war. Cause we already know the media goes out of their way and stoops to a pretty low level using racism and stereotypes like a merry-go-round cycle to stir up hatred-fueled hysteria. So let's escape this loop of a blatant lose-lose scenario and come together like those two dudes on Joyner Lucas's I'm Not Racist music video, or before you know it, it's lights out.